Hello, my name is Ella, and today I'm going to show the 3 artworks that I've done throughout my grade 12 experience. First, we'll start by asking the question, what has art taught you? Art is a very creative and imaginative type of media that helps me express myself. Usually isn't to the norm. It helps me to understand myself more and helps to understand the beauty of mixing colors and understanding color theory and the different medias that we could do to express ourselves in a way that is not words. What do you value most? As human beings, this question pops out in my mind a lot. The thing I value most within my life is undeniably time. Everything is gobbled up by time. Our family, money, happiness, love, trust, and even death is determined by time. Everything blossoms over a period of time. In a way, time is the base of everything, and nothing else is more important than time. This artwork on its core base is a representation of my perception of time. From the galaxy in the background, which to me was what I imagine when I think of time in a rational way. Think of exploring in time. What can you see? I see complete darkness, and that time slowly fills up with small dots. In a way, this imagination of mine reminded me of the night sky, where anything can happen. The plain white base indicates how time is empty, yet it is also a base for people to fill, as without the base, the automata won't work. The representation of the primary color shows how everybody can be cooped up in the mess of time, where the blue, red, and yellow primary colors can be used to make endless shades of colors with just the simple base. That is why they are represented by the people as the color chosen to represent that anybody, anytime, anywhere is a victim of time. The movement starts from the red is the color that catches the eye the most, and as well as the color that pops out within the blue background. The silver clock shows how time is a man-made thing, a machine color that represents artificialness in the world of reality, even though in the past it was seen through day and night, which then evolved into a sundial, which then turned into a clock. Do you know what a white lie is? Sweet taste is, as it suggests, a symbolic art piece that represents a metaphor. This artwork represents how we as humans like to swallow lies to create peace in the society. How many people can easily lie to us and make us feel unwanted and worthless within the world. How manipulation works in a way that's both sweet and yet harms us as without us noticing, as we can only read and disgust. The sweet taste is represented by the cake within the artwork, where the lie is manipulative towards the person who is constantly slowing it up. This shows how we can easily disregard a lie, as a cake is one well-known celebratory dessert that we all intake without a problem within certain occasions in our lives, treating it as a sort of cheat food that brings happiness to our palates from all the sugars in it. The bolt represents the pain of the lie and how it affects us negatively on the long run, as a lie is a sin that is used to deceive people. The deceiving nature is portrayed within the bolts, and the harm from that deceiving nature is represented by the blood trickling down the chin into the hand of the person who can be seen as trying to catch the blood in their hand from reaching the table. Red spider lilies represent the danger surrounding, although their messiness represent how everything is in her head. The colors within the picture have low saturated colors to give an eerie feeling towards the audience. The mostly blue of the palette represents the deep need of sadness from the girl, while the red envelopes that sadness as shown within the blood in the table below her. The arrangement of the artwork was made to make the blood dripping down the chin being the main emphasis. Do you understand the feeling of emptiness? This piece was inspired by a scene that caught my eye from a music video called TXT Drama Official Music Video. The scene called out to me a lot since the eye instantly follows the path towards the black tunnel that the actor's head came out from, so I decided to paint the scene in oil paint. The painting itself is simplified to an extent. Simplification was important within the painting as it helped me to express the foggy view I had on the scene where the rocks were simplified with big shapes of colors instead of drawing each detail of line individually. The painting itself has a more of a grayish green tone to it, as every base color within the painting came from a mixture of ultramarine blue and lemon green that I would constantly add cadmium red or titanium white to change the tone or the feel of that specific color within the painting. The shape of the painting shows a vector that points towards a tunnel within straight or circular triangular shapes that helps to express the notion of the eye moving towards the tunnel within the picture. The big emphasis I put within the tunnel shows the emptiness of the picture in which with the different colors and shapes creating a vector that shows the main point of the picture, which is completely blank and unreadable, as a black pitch hole is a perfect explanation of what feeling empty is. A path of bright confusion that plays with your mind yet leaves you feeling nothing is the feeling the picture is trying to show. The feeling of being empty just happens sometimes, and it is inevitable to an extent. It's not a bad thing, yet not a good thing. It sets this neutrality on a person's mental well-being, gives a sense of unprecedented comfort when needed, but can also be an annoying curse when not needed, as shown within the silence felt from the painting.
Hi, I'm Erica from 12TP. Throughout this course, art has taught me a variety of things directly and indirectly. One of the most influential lessons is that what's considered as art is subjective, though it always entails value and meaning that's constantly valid. People view each artwork differently, taking in messages that the artist may not even initially consider. Inspiration for art is also highly diverse and broad, from fictional imaginations to significant life experiences. This exhibition will focus on the theme, meaning behind the mundane, which aims to explore how art is found and sourced by inspirations encountered in our daily lives. Encounters that are often subconsciously classified as normal and or meaningless. Each artwork in this exhibition has a focused intention that provides a specific angle, offering a perspective that complements the overall theme. The first artwork is an acrylic painting on canvas titled Ripples Between. It aims to demonstrate the role humans have on societal occurrences and how they could intentionally or unintentionally contribute to a butterfly effect, much like a ripple's continuous series of waves. The artwork illustrates an abstract perception of a ripple, using contradicting colors to represent the various perspectives of individuals within a community. Deciding to explore mixed media, the second artwork, titled More, is made of pen, plastic, and acrylic paint on canvas that aims to show that a person's identity can't be stereotyped towards society's assumptions, and there's always a story behind one's decisions. The range of symbolism used is to represent that the person's identity and situation is never either or. Also using mixed media, but using fabric and paper on acrylic, the third artwork aims to show the numerous contrasting ways people could express themselves, showing its relationship with society. While the possibilities are endless, the artwork demonstrates varying looks from different eras, locations, and values. The goal of the symbolism is to visualize diversity through representation, using differences that could be easily identified to make an impact on viewers as they could perhaps relate. The next artwork is a three-dimensional piece made with copper wire, depicting a butterfly as the main subject matter. The aim for this piece is to explore the concept of romanticizing beauty and art within simplicity and nature, connecting to the meaning from small things we encounter. Wanting to explore lens-based media, this artwork is a digital illustration with the aim to explore how people recurrently mask their identity without others realizing, how society could never really know one's full story and therefore shouldn't judge them solely based on what they think they know. The next artwork is inspired by the idea of how people have individual interests and identities that may evolve as we're exposed to more experiences. To conclude the exhibition, this artwork is a mixed media piece, made with acrylic paint and pen on paper. The intention is to explore how we're all connected as global citizens, though each with our own view of the world, being represented by the cityscape and abstract application of colors. Each of these artwork provides an angle that shows specifically the different appeals or ways mundane encounters prompt art and meaning. Such a theme is relevant to viewers as it encourages them to value more of mundane recurrent events, prompting a more open and appreciative view towards and regarding your daily lives.
Hi, my name is Janice Natalie and I'm from 12TP. Today I'll be going through my art exhibition, But before showing all the artworks that I've been doing for the past 2 years, I would like to talk about the experience and how I feel about this course. So my 2 years journey in visual art was like a roller coaster. It was nerve-wracking, but it was also enjoyable. I obtained a lot of knowledge from this course, which was not only theory-based but also valuable life skills. And this course also made me realize that art is very broad. It's not just about the aesthetic, but it's also about the purpose and how art can make the audience create various interpretation. And so about my exhibition theme, it is about center beauty, and I believe it is heavily influenced by my personal point of view as a teenager who lived in a very diverse society. Growing up, I always feel that gender equality does exist, and often it is women who gets the greatest pressure from their surrounding, mainly regarding their appearance. And women are often expected to dress and present themselves in a certain way and according to the society standard. As of that, I would like to take this exhibition as an opportunity to expose and to portray the emotion, enhance the diversity, and also raise awareness regarding this unethical mindset using various type of media. And so, please enjoy.
So for my first artwork, it is a Chinese-style teapot set made out of clay. It illustrates the red pony flower and symbolizes youth and everlasting beauty. The concept of this artwork focuses on expressing the idea of embracing the definition of beauty from different culture. The idea was to embrace and appreciate everyone's beauty, nevertheless their heritage and culture. My second artwork is an abstract realism painting that exhibits woman's body with a vibrant skin color, which symbolizes magnificent aura. The inside of his chest shows a black color with a few silver dots that reveals the admirable figure is actually filled with darkness and a feeling of loss. People who look perfect on the outside sometimes have a deep sense of sadness that cannot be seen by others but themselves. Before I Leave is an artwork that depicts a human figure who melts like a wax, symbolizing the human state of tiredness. This artwork displays an understanding of how impactful people can be to their surrounding. Therefore, we shall not take people for granted. There will be time when people will be gone, and that's when we realize how much light they were in the dark. This is a portrayal of what could possibly happen when society continues to make someone feel small just because they don't fit the standard. Hatred Among Us is a combination of two different artistic elements, painting and photography, which creates a form of conceptual piece of art. The combination of paint and images of facial features of part of my female family member from different generation portrays a young woman with oriental facial features as the representation of an individual originating from Asia that encountered discrimination. Dysphoria is a artwork that uses two different techniques, pen and charcoal drawing. It illustrates the genderless figure that depicts a sense of dissatisfaction with oneself through its dull and dark feeling. It is intended to show the emotion of dysphoria that often happen due to pressure from other people's expectation about themselves. All Time Adored is a digital illustration that enlightens the purpose of enhancing the beauty of diversity. Thinking back to my initial theme of beauty standard, I took inspiration from the social crisis that has happened for a very long time, racism. My intention is to exhibit the carefree, compassionate, and united feeling of appreciating every individual regardless of their skin color. This is my last piece for this exhibition, and it is an oil painting. Truthfully, the concept is not very much related to the main theme, but I think it is suitable to be a closing artwork as this painting carries the meaning of unity. The holding hand illustrates that humans are basically just ordinary creatures, so there's no point in insulting and putting each other down. And that's it for my exhibition. Thank you for watching.
My name is Patricia Josephine from the 12 DP Visual Arts class. This video will be a gallery walkthrough of my VA exhibition, as unfortunately we are unable to run our exhibition offline and in person. We have to resort to having to create our own videos for our exhibition. To chosen concept for my exhibition and the title of my overall collection, I have decided to refer to it as Magic of the Mundane. Through this exhibition, I wish to explore concepts of fantasy and whimsy and magic through the lens of real life, through the world that we live in. My motivation for this exhibition is that I have always been one who is intrigued and in love with the concept of magic. And as a young kid, I thought that it was something that I would eventually grow out of. However, it is something that I still very much still love, and it is something that I wish to always have an outlet for. And this was a prime opportunity for me to be able to share my story of the magic I see in my everyday life. I believe that magic, despite it not being real in the most traditional sense, it is something that is fueled by the people who believe in it, the people who enjoy fantasy, who enjoy the magic, enjoy all the fairy tales. It is what gives this world of fantasy its power, and it's what gives it a deeper meaning than it just being a fairy tale. And through this exhibition, not only would I like to explore, to show my view of magic, but also the view of others and their perspective on magic, to not only give meaning to magic for myself, but also the people around me, as that is what I believe what makes magic so powerful.
My VA exhibition journey first started with my first piece, which I titled Where Lost Things Go. This piece is a triptych done in watercolor, which explores themes of childhood memories and loss, as it depicts a place where childhood memories, the items and the toys, all the things that we associate them with, goes. The place it goes as we grow up and eventually leave them behind. The canvases shaped for this specific artwork were chosen to depict the circular shapes of bubbles. It symbolizes the playful nature of childhood memories that were left behind, and watercolor was specifically chosen as it is meant to evoke a sense of serenity, nostalgia, and whimsy, similar to that seen in many children's books and fairy tales. The second piece, which I have titled Phantoms of the Digital Age, is a mixed media piece done through photography and digital drawings. This piece expresses the personal emotions I had felt in the completion of this piece as I struggled through a time of desperation and loneliness where I had solely relied on social media as means to cope. The contrast between the dark and light within the piece, seen through the composition as well as through the spirit's entity, represents the inner turmoil and battle one faces in loneliness, having only themselves as their worst enemy as well as their only savior. The media chosen for this piece is meant to represent the online media, which in this digital age many rely on to distract themselves with and to cope, similar to what I have done during this time. Populous explores themes of individuality and interconnectedness, as the piece itself explores the individuality of one soul, of its having its own distinctive form and color, and how each soul is inherently connected to one another. The inspiration behind this specific piece came from an episode of Duncan Trussell's podcast, The Midnight Gospel, which in that specific episode, the main character explored concepts of spirituality and soul through the perspective of different cultures and beliefs. This piece expresses the form of an individual's souls and its significance in the interconnectedness of people, how despite being distinctive and solely their own, there are some similarities which connect each individual's souls with one another. Paper Wishes is a wire structure inspired by the Japanese folklore of the Thousand Paper Cranes. The folklore believed that a god would grant the wish of a person who would fold 1,000 paper cranes. This piece, which was formed by individual origami paper cranes crafted from old school papers and essays, represents the time, effort, and resources one spends in education in hopes for a better life. The swarm of cranes, which forms an upward spiral, represents the desire for freedom, for one to be able to be free and fly away, that they wish would be granted through their work and efforts in education. My last piece, which I've titled Nod, A Gateway to Dream, came to me as an inspiration through one of the many D&D campaigns that I came to encounter and watch throughout my creative processes. This campaign explored the concept, stating that dream exists in its unconscious state as an ever-changing entity that is dependent on the individual who gives it its color, its form, and its meaning. This piece explores the concept of how dreams and aspirations are inherently rooted by monetary value, which keeps it from becoming real, which keeps dreams as dreams. The base of the canvas, which is covered with old receipt, represents that monetary value which our dreams are rooted in, which is keeping our dreams from becoming truly real. Within the past 2 years of my DP visual art journey, I've learned that art has taught me many things. It has taught me to be patient. It has taught me to be more creative, to not be confined by what should be, and to realize what can be. I never thought that art would be something that I'd come to enjoy, especially not form of arts that I've compiled for my exhibition. However, I believe in the past 2 years I have grown as a person. I have improved my skills. I have improved the way I present my art, the way I present my ideas. It has come to me more easily, more creatively, and I'm thankful for this opportunity for me to be able to share my ideas, my thoughts on the topic that I've chosen, a place where I can share the magic that I believe in.
Okay, hello everyone, my name is Jesslyn Demanda and I'm from grade 12 DP, and in this video I am going to showcase all my 8 artworks. And the theme of my artworks is architecture reflecting human science. Architecture, which encompasses the interior and exterior design, reflects the characteristics, personality, and mind of the designer or the house owner. And by doing that, the beauty of human science will be shown, and that is the aim of the overall artworks that I made. And it is because I wanted to spread the awareness of the beauty of being human, because humans are able to think, behave, and feel in certain ways. And all the things that I've mentioned are reflected through the interior design or the design of the house that a person has. And my second aim is to also show that architectural design is not just about the aesthetic look of it, because we are able to see the characteristics and maybe the background culture of the owner of the house that we go to or see. Here in this exhibition, you will also see the progress of becoming an artist and learning new skills to work with different mediums. So the first artwork is, I wanted to create a space that shows a dream to achieve goals, that is shown by the Hollywood scenery, that is known as the place that gives access to fame and success. However, it is very difficult for those who don't have the access, which is very ironic and depressing. But a friend of mine told me the importance of being optimistic in life. And so I decided to change my idea and make the artwork appear more optimistic and dreamy. I also added some stairs that lead the audience to the Hollywood scenery to give hope that a dream can be very near and close to us if we want to build stairs gradually. And the second artwork is, this artwork shows introversion, and it is taken from my thoughts of being an introvert is not awesome. Some people also feel the same way, and here I wanted to remind people that being an introvert is actually fine and cool, because it is important to accept our true identity with proudness. The setting of the artwork is the desert, and I used the color green to give a sense of like mysteriousness, to invite people to get to know the house. And the third artwork is, and this artwork shows the obsessive compulsive disorder that is symbolized by the color of teal, and precisely the teal faces that shows the behavior of people who suffer with OCD, as they are having hard time to stop doing their actions if they're not satisfied yet. And this is symbolized by the cracked faces. The perfect face represents how the owner of the house finally felt satisfied. It's also shown by the ribbon awareness. It shows that the person who owns the house suffer from OCD, and he or she aware about that and wanted to support the cause. And the fourth artwork is, this artwork shows minimalism style, and this is inspired by some people who prefer to be minimalists because their lives are already too complex, and so they wanted to tone down the complexity of the place that they want to call home. And the fifth artwork is, this interior design shows maximalism, and it is aimed to show that some people who prefer to have this kind of style, they have a bit more complex or wanting to be playful type of personality. And the next artwork is, this artwork shows a gallery that represents us being humans that have to endure the pain, the suffering, or the happiness that we felt during a year. It is shown by the gallery that showcases artworks that shows months from January to December with colors that show the difference or the mood of the months. The door that exists at the end of the room shows that the gallery is still showcasing more other works, and meaning that the journey of being humans are gonna keep on going until its end. This artwork shows a study room. The inspiration of this artwork is from my life as a student, who have my eyes glued to my laptop and the clock. And sometimes students have tasks that have certain deadlines that we have to meet, and clock can be a very intimidating object for us. And the image next to the clock shows a vacation moment, and it also shows that sometimes people who work tend to think about having a quick vacation or getaway because they want to escape from reality. And the last artwork finally is, and this artwork shows a huge room with a New York scenery and framed photographs that represent the past moments in life of the owner of the apartment. And in the room, the owner has a trophy and an Oscar award that show the success of the owner. However, the owner sometimes feel alone. And this artwork shows that the owner is elder because this owner was involved in the Vietnam War protest in the 1960s, shown by the peace sign poster that the owner held at the time. And the awareness ribbon being put into one of the frames, it shows that the owner has Alzheimer's disease because purple colored ribbon, it shows awareness for Alzheimer. And yeah, that's it. That's the exhibition, and thank you for watching, and yeah, bye. Peace out.